Hey everyone, how you all doing today? And welcome back to another video. So welcome to Season 22 Might and Mastery. Now, I have tried a new team and, I gotta give a shout out to my friend Enhoff. I was actually thinking of a similar team. I was thinking of Lapras and Grumpig in the back because those are the two newly buffed Pokemon that I really wanted to try. But originally I was thinking of Amoga in the league. For the pesky Mandibuzz, right? But she was running Togetic. I was in her stream, and I was like, let's go ahead and give it a try. And I liked it. Now, I will say there's a couple things I did notice about this team. One, it does not really appreciate, well, the backline doesn't really appreciate Mandibuzz, but in general, the team does not like Drapion, and we will see that in this video. So, Drapion is definitely pretty tough for the team, but it was a lot of fun, and I did really well. Now, granted, they were at the beginning of the battle, so you'll see a lot of newer trainers, and we love seeing newer trainers, right? It's absolutely fantastic, because, everybody, as long as you love battling and you enjoy it and you're having fun, that's all that matters. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the battles and see how we do. So hopefully your season has been going really well. So we got brother and sister, I don't know, maybe, Togetic and Togekiss, but my opponent switches out into a Noivern. Now this is actually a great matchup for me. And I do decide to bait here because I did expect a shield, and my opponent does shield. I'm actually just going to go for another one. I don't know the counts in Noivern. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I just don't know the counts. But fortunately, my opponent does not make it to a move, so that is incredible for me. And it's going to be Blastoise with Water Gun. Now, Blastoise is a Pokemon I do plan on showcasing because it does have the new rollout, so I'm excited for that. I do hit them with Dazzling Gleam. It does do a lot of damage. I try to get off the Psyshock, but my opponent concedes, and that is going to be a really well-played game to my opponent. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and move into the next battle in just a moment. I thought I edited these parts out. I guess I did not edit out this part. Hopefully, moving forward, the others should be edited out. So I do apologize for that, but let's see what we got going on for us. So Archon, okay, so I remember this one. This is actually like a 618 CP Archon. So I knew this was going to be a pretty comfortable game. Lapras is coming in. Now, Lapras is common, as we see on my team, of course, as well. And it will be common this season, but not with Water Gun. Definitely Psywave, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and bait with the Psyshock right now. And my opponent will not shield that one. That's okay. I could just try and get to another one, and I do successfully get to another one, so fantastic for me. So this is going to pick up the final shield from my opponent. I'm going to actually switch. Maybe I'm going to be able to catch a water attack. Who knows, but I don't. I'm actually almost able to farm down, but do they have Skull Bash? Now, even if they do, I know Skull Bash is not going to KO, but my opponent actually running that Skull Bash. So that's totally cool. So out comes Stantler, and it's a low CP. Stantler. And again, yeah, just, rank 1 battles, these might not be the most exciting, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I could just throw a couple of sparkling areas at my opponent and take the game, and that is going to be a great game, very well played to my opponent. Awesome to see newer trainers enter GBL each season. I really enjoy it. And I guess I did not edit them out. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I guess I did edit them out. I'm using a new editing software, so it might be a little bit hazy at first. But, Or-Coo, I did not even know Or-Coo's movesets, so I'm just going to go ahead and charge up for the Dazzling Gleam and throw this Psyshock right now. Sometimes these newer trainers, they do like to shield immediately, but no, my opponent actually calling that and not shielding it. Totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Going to be Air Cutter, not a big deal. Able to take that. I had no idea of Or-Coo's moveset. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So I'm just going to go for my Psyshock. And out comes Lopunny. Okay, so I'm a little bit more familiar with Lopunny. Not super comfortable with it. Because, again, it's not a Pokemon you really see. But still, I've seen it here or there in the past. I know it's been updated before as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it. Fire Punch, I do live. I was thinking maybe it had a fighting attack, but I do get off my Dazzling Gleam, and my opponent will commit their final shield, no problem. I go into my shiny Grumpig. I know a Dynamic Punch is going to KO this Lopunny, so I'm more than happy to throw it, and that will knock out. And we see a Drift. Dripblim come in. So Dripblim is another Pokemon I do want to check out this season because Hex was updated. So I feel like you do want Hex now on Dripblim. So we do take that game, and that's going to be a very great game to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Here we go. Togetic into Victini. Okay, so Victini, I do know Victini's movesets. We have seen Victini in the past. But I'm going to go ahead and charge up a little bit and then switch out. My move is really not going to do a lot to Victini, so I do go into Lapras. And I knew that I would be taking neutral damage from the V-Create or Overheat. But no, it's actually going to be a Psychic. I'm also taking neutral damage from that, but able to take it. That sparkling area actually didn't knock out. I was actually surprised. I expected it to knock out. But out comes a grass type. Okay, Grotto, so I'm just going to throw the Ice Beam. I'm not going to make two moves. I wasn't comfortable. Yeah, I wasn't going to make two moves. So just safely throw the Ice Beam. Not really a big deal. But Togetic can come in. Togetic does really well here because it is heavily resisting those Razor Leaf attacks. So I'm going to be able to throw my Dazzling Gleam right now, and that will not KO. But I can Fey Wind down the Grotto. And out comes Kangaskhan, so I actually heavily resist Mud Slap as well as the Togetic. So that is going to be fantastic for me. So I do go ahead and throw that Dazzling Gleam. And I bring in my Grumpig, and I know Grumpig just safely needs to get to a Dynamic Punch. I didn't know the moveset on Kangaskhan. It's a good thing I shielded because it was actually a crunch. But I do get to the Dynamic Punch, and this is going to be enough to knock out that Kangaskhan. And that's going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Yeah, these lower matches, these lower, like level 1, rank 2, they were, like, easier games to play. Not the most meta teams, but that's okay. I still like showing them. I still have a good time with them. Yeah, Mischievous. Again, not familiar with the moveset. I assume it has a Ghost Attack. Shadow Sneak is a Ghost Attack. Probably has Shadow Ball, but I knew they were not at the Shadow Ball at that point. I do pick up the shield. Very nice. My opponent will get off another attack. I know it's going to be a Shadow Sneak, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I know Togetic can live that. And I do go for my Dazzling Gleam right now. So Dazzling Gleam is going to not KO, but that's okay because I can bring in Lapras and Psywave all the way down. Okay, out comes Glaceon. So I saw the Ice typing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Sparkling area right now. So this is going to... They actually caught. I missed that catch, to be completely honest with you, when I threw the move. But that's totally fine because we could Psywave down that Toxitricity, and that is going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move on. Togetic into Credilli right now. Okay, so Credilli is definitely a Pokemon that I do want to try as well. Another thing this team is weak to is ABA weak to Electric. So Morpeko, definitely a struggle for this team for sure. Morpeko does well against a lot of things, even the Grumpig, because I mean at the end of the day you do have the Dynamic Punch, but Psywave is also resisted. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my Dazzling Gleam right now into the Credilli. Can I make it to a Psyshock? I would have been able to, so they had to throw, which is really good. So I'm just going to let this go and farm down with the Pokemon in the back. Probably the Grumpig, I think. I do farm down with the Grumpig. Alright, very nice. So what is going to come in is going to be that Jellicent. So, okay. And I throw the Shadow Ball right now. So let's see if the Jellicent decides to shield. They do decide to shield. Makes sense there. I guess it would have been a safe bait, but I mean, at the end of the day, the Dynamic Punch is double resisted. I try to catch an attack, maybe a Surf. I'm not successful, but that's okay. My moves are all resisted besides the Psywave into the Jellicent. Jellicent and Credilli are both Pokemon I am going to be trying this season. I think I already mentioned that earlier, but Jellicent is going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. I'll be able to eat one of them, so I will take that. Trying to get to the Sparkling area, and I do reach it. So what will my opponent do? Will they shield this? They do not shield it. Wigglytuff is coming in. So I bring in my Grumpig. Now, Dynamic Punch is neutral towards Wigglytuff because it is part normal typing. But Grumpig does not benefit from stab damage. So it's not like, I mean, it's not super effective. It's not stab. So it's not going to be enough to KO. But if I could at least land one of them, that would be fantastic for me. And I do get off another one, trying to throw on good timing. And this Dynamic Punch is, yeah, not going to KO, but Lapras is going to come in, and I do reach that sparkling area. And that is going to be a great game to my opponent. Very well played to them. But yeah, really well done. Nice team as well. But we're going to be able to win that one. Nice. So let's go ahead and move into the next one. It's going to be Togetic into Dugong. So definitely a rough matchup for the Tick, right? For the Togetic. So I do go into my Lapras right away. And out comes Bastiodon. Okay, we are weak to the moves Bastiodon has. Bastiodon is kind of a core breaker in a way for this team. I mean, we do have the Dynamic Punch and Sparkling Area on Lapras, so maybe not a core breaker, but like Togetic obviously doesn't want to see it. And then the Psywaves are resistant. So yeah, not really a core breaker, but not really a Pokemon. I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting to see this a whole lot, but I actually saw it a decent amount of times already. Trying to make it to another one. I do make it to another Sparkling Area. Very nice indeed. So will this be enough to knock out? We don't know because they shield it. But I think I could make it to one more. They do throw an attack. I think I shield this. Yeah, I do because I do want to get off the next Sparkling Area. And I do successfully get it off, thinking that this will be enough to KO. And I do believe it is enough to knock out. Yeah, there we go. So Sparkling Area is such a great move. It really is. Lapras is getting a good farm down though, which is actually unfortunate. Because they're going to be able to double debuff me with 2 Icy Winds. Because of that farm down, because Lapras does double resist to ice attacks, they do make it to another one. So I will be double debuffed with my Grumpig. But Togetic really doesn't want to come into this matchup. But they do switch out, so now I'm not debuffed into Wigglytuff, which is good. I go for my Dazzling Gleam. I may have called it the Summon Voice in this video, I'm not sure. But I'm trying to. I really need to make this Psyshock. They do make it to an attack. I know if it's an Icy Wind, it should be enough to knock out. No, I live, and I make it to that Psyshock. I thought I was going to faint, but no, I actually do successfully live that. And now out comes Dugong. Dugong does not get a big farm, and because I am not debuffed, I do go for this Dynamic Punch. I actually don't think it's enough, but it comes close. No, never mind, it is enough. So, very nice, able to take that really well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Registeel. Okay, so another, kind of like another core breaker in a way, right? Obviously you have you have the charge attacks like Dynamic Punch on Grumpig. The Fairy type, Togetic does not want to see it. As for Lapras, I mean, Lapras is weak to Focus Blast, right? It's weak to Zap Cannon, but they have Flash Cannon. So that's fine. And the Registeel is staying in. I do get off another Sparkling Area, which is really nice. And they do shield. Okay, not bad, not bad. So we do see an attack coming out right now. I am going to go ahead and shield another Flash Cannon. At this point, I'm thinking maybe it's single moved. I mean, they could have double baited. But when they bring in the Greninja, that's actually a good catch by my opponent. They catch the Sparkling Area. So really well done. But I see it's a bubble on the Greninja. So I'm like, okay. They're not running Water Shuriken, which is the preferred move on Greninja. I'm going to go ahead and let the Hydro Cannon go. It's not a Hydro Cannon though, it's a Surf. So I'm able to farm down, which is good. And I have a lot of energy. And Gengar is coming in. Holy smokes. The Psyshock is going to just one-shot the Gengar. You love to see it. They do have a shield, but I do have 2. Yeah, Togetic just charges up so fast as a Psyshock. It's crazy. Yeah, that just one-shots the Gengar. And then I do get off the... I knew at this point I was going to win. I still have a Grumpig. I figured they would probably single-moved. I just Psyshocked down with Grumpig. Great game. Well played to my opponent. Very cool to see. Really, really nice team. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and move into the next battle. Yeah, I started off 10-0. Togetic, so I did say I am ABA weak to Electric. And for those that don't know, ABA weak means that your lead is weak to something that she has a weakness in the back, right? So Togetic is a flying type, and Lapras is a water type. So both of them are weak to Electric. So... yeah, let me know what you think of this overlay. It's not like I haven't used it before. Do you prefer it? I have a little bit more time in my hands, so I could do it for now. But let me know what you think. I personally like it. I just want to, yeah, I was suggested on Twitter to like maybe have a different angle on the webcam. But other than that, let me know what you think. I personally like it. Mike might be a little bit too big, but either way, they do switch out into Weezing, and I froze for a second. But Galarian Weezing is fantastic, by the way. Another Pokemon I will be using. Psyshock, that does a lot of damage. And I switch out into Lapras, and Psywave is super effective. They're going to go ahead and top left. Good game, well played to my opponent. I guess I forgot to edit out this one as well. Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, I am using a new editing program, so that is why. But we're going to go ahead and move into the next battle. So it's Togetic into Annihilape. So this is a great lead. The great thing here is that all of our Pokemon do well against Annihilape. Yes, they have moves with Annihilape that do super effective damage towards Lapras, as well as Grumpig. Even Togetic if they're running Ice Punch. But we also have super effective fast move Pressure, which is fantastic for us. And so I am going to go ahead and go in, for the Sparkling area. Do I shield this one? I think I do make a mistake, to be honest, because I do shield this, and I'm counting, but for some reason, I guess I miscount, so I end up double shielding. So that's definitely my bad. Definitely not what I wanted to do. I definitely did not want to go down 2 shields. So out comes Feraligatr. So I'm going to be able to go for the Psyshock. And we'll see if they want to shield. They do want to shield. So I do get one of the shields back, which is nice. And the Feraligatr is going to go ahead and go for an attack right now. It's going to be a Hydro. Okay. I do make it to the Dazzling Gleam. This is another mistake because they do shield this. And if I went for the Psyshock, the Feraligatr wouldn't have been able to farm down. They would have had to throw an attack or take a Psyshock. So I should have went for the Psyshock. And I even said that as I was streaming these battles live. But you know what? It's okay. We all make mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Sparkling area right now. And I'm trying to get off another one, but they get off their attack. And it's going to be enough to KO, definitely, for sure. So Grumpig is going to be able to eat a Hydro Cannon. Fortunately for me, I'm still going to be able to win this game because I'm going to be able to Psywave down, and I'm going to be able to Shadow Ball that Annihilape. And it actually doesn't knock out. I thought it was going to knock out, but it actually doesn't. I guess because it's non-stab, right? Because Grumpig is a Psychic type. It's not a Ghost type. But we're still able to take that one. So great game, well played to my opponent. Togetic into Drapion. So I did mention at the beginning of the video that this team does struggle to Drapion. Even the Lapras, because Psywave, it's resisted. Blastoise is coming in. The best matchup you really would want is Togetic into that Drapion. Because they usually don't have Sludge Bomb, but they do have the Poison Sting damage. So it is rough. I have been struggling with this team against Drapion. So I come into Grumpig. My reason for that is because I can't eat a crunch on my Grumpig. That's why I brought this one in. Lapras does resist Blastoise moves, so you could argue that I should have went into that. Unless if they're running Skull Bash. Actually, no. Rollout is super effective. But anyway, that's why I came into the Grumpig. But out comes Drapion, and they actually throw. They could have gotten the farm down here, so I'm kind of glad they threw that. Yeah, I bait here, and I don't think the bait was a mistake, but they actually call it, and they don't shield. So that's awful for me. Again, I don't think it was a mistake to bait there. I 100% thought they were going to shield, but they don't. So I do throw the Dazzling Gleam here, but unfortunately they shield that. So yeah, really well played by my opponent. That's all I could say to that. Good call by them. Sometimes you got to make those calls, right? But yeah, really well played. Crunch is coming out, and now out comes so they bring in their Pokemon. I go for a Sparkling area into their Grumpig, and I still have a shield advantage, which is nice. But unfortunately, I don't really think it's going to do much. They definitely take this one. Dynamic Punch, of course, would KO me, so I do have to shield that. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Sparkling area. And yeah, I shield this. Like, the thing is, like, I do get to a Sparkling area, but it's not going to matter because they still have another Pokemon in the back. They just Psywave me down with the Grumpig. And they're going to be able to win that battle. And that is going to conclude today's battles. I hope you enjoyed them. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm going to try to be more active on YouTube. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.